Hey beauties. I notice I've been seeing posts of this alleged taxi man abusing a young student over taxi fare. I didn't, and I saw something coming on the news, but I didn't really see any video. I saw a little clipping, but it was very much unclear until this afternoon. I saw the video, and I was mentioning the situation to my mom before seeing the video, and she said, "Boy, that's unfortunate." However, I know sometimes these students can be very unruly and very feisty and disrespectful to adults and so on. I said, okay, one of the things we don't want to do is judge. Let's see the situation, because I don't get the impression that in this case the student was. The only thing that I would have said is that the student probably, I guess maybe it's in her best judgment call. Afterwards, she should just firmly say, give him the money and say, this is all I have. Maybe 2-3 times. If he continues, just move away. Then again, you don't know what will happen if she walked away. So maybe she thought it was best. Probably it was the best way she responded. But I keep saying it's $100 for the fare, and she is not going all the way to Old Harbor. So she, that is, I saw her coming up because the video started from her coming out, handed him the $100, and he was complaining that for adults it's $200, 150 for students to this point. I guess he was saying 180 if you go a little farther, or maybe to go to Old Harbor. And she said, no, it is $100. And from what I know, if the taxi fare overall is $200, I think I heard somebody saying that for students, it's 50% off. It's, 50% less. I think for students, that those who have some sort of disability and some sort of challenge in a physical sense, I guess, or so. And she was defending her point. She held on to that. And he was just getting irate and then started to hurl indecent language to her. And remember, even though there is no bad word law, there is a section that Dion Jackson Miller had read. I'd listened to it and had written down what she had said, and it talks about profanity, public profanity. I suppose hurling at people. It didn't specify if it is towards police officers and so on, but it spoke about that. And he was just, and when she said, is me really telling bad words? And him say, yes, yes. And I said to myself, I'm wondering if he forgot to use the mouthwash to help him, that specialized mouthwash to help him remove the maggots that are piercing through the holes in his teeth because of the gingivitis and the cavity that the dentist told him that he has. Because it must be something like that for him to be looking at a youngster, a student who is calling him out on his abuse. And he was determined to say, yes, basically, and I'm putting it in my words, I am verbally abusing you. And be very confident in his abuse and comfortable. And I'm very happy that the laws of the land held him very much accountable. I heard that the owner of the vehicle just relinquished his duties from him and said, we no longer need it, basically. I'm sick and tired of men who feel that they can just continue abusing women, whether it's physical, whether it's verbal, whether it's emotional, whether it's sexual, whether it's psychological, whether it is mental or even social or educational. And you not be held accountable. This is a youngster. He had no form of self-control towards a young girl, and she could have retaliated even worse. She could have. Maybe she knows how you guys are. Maybe that is why she felt the need to defend it. She said it's 100, it's 100. And young people are going to be a tit for tat. She's young. So I'm not even going to say, I can't speak from an adult perspective. I'm an adult, she's not. So I can't use my adult state. No, when I was her, I was worse than that. I know I would have lost it. Not in terms of using indecent language, but I would have been screaming at him because my fuse would have been so short. Because I said, I'd probably say, are you deaf? Or is it that I'm speaking a human language and you speak dog language? I know I would have been so feisty. I would have been. I was so annoyed by seeing the video, beautiful people. I detest abuse, whether it is a woman doing it to a man. I hate it when men do it to women because I've often said, I think there is something that God has inbuilt in women where we are moved by what we hear. Men are moved by what they see. That is why if they see a beautiful woman, they're triggered. Everything stands up for them. Everything. And the woman, similarly, she's moved by what she hears and how you make her feel. So when you hurl certain words at her, it affects her very much deeply than how it affects men. If you look at a man and say, oh, you're dry and you're black and you're fat and he probably just laughs. Not to say he will feel necessarily great, but a woman, oh my God, she hears it completely different. She mulls over it. She meditates on it day and night. She treats it like when somebody who is a fervent Christian reading his or her Bible, sort of a situation. That's how we are. We're made that way. That is why Peter, in 1 Peter chapter 3, I think verse 7, or just read 1 Peter chapter 3, it says, husbands, do not embitter, do not be harsh, don't use verbal abusive language or even physical it was talking about. Do not be abusive to your wives because your prayers will be hindered. There will be a hindrance to your prayers. They will not really be answered. Because we're the weaker of the two vessels, physically that is. So words matter. When you become abusive, we can't deal with it. It's really hard. It kills something inside of us. And she's a young girl to that big man who needs to go to more than a barber. He needs a lawnmower on his face. And the grass cutter. I am so annoyed by men who feel, that they can just get away. I am glad that they charged him. And I hope others will learn if they continue to do that. And I hope it must not just only be towards minor, but they're a part of the vulnerable group. In the top tier. How dare him? How dare him? Secondly, he's uncouth. He has no compassion. He has no heart. This is a young girl. She's not working. Even if you feel that it's her guardians or parents giving her money, she's not working. She paid you something and she paid you at least 50% of what the value of everything is. Because that's what they said. I know I heard that on the news by the minister there. I'm sick and tired of you men. And this is what these poor young... And then when they disrespect you, you talk about how young people are rude and disrespectful. Because you guys are rude and disrespectful to them. Children are like blank slates. Whatever you dish out, they give back to you. And women, because we're made to receive, please note that they will give you in multiplied ways. He's rude. And the girl even said, I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact wording. But basically, are you really telling me bad words? Are you really? And he's very bold and courageous. Yes, I am. So sort of a situation. I'm sick and tired of men like you. I can just imagine if you have a wife or if you have a girlfriend, the trauma she goes through. I can just imagine, because what you see people display on the roads, you better believe, beautiful people, it is 10 times worse at the home. It is 10 times worse at the home. Or sometimes people say because they can't do it at home, they will come on the road, or really only for a time. Only for a time, beauties. Because you can only pretend so much and no more. Even if the woman is the one who is wearing the pants at home. Even if she's a patriarchal, not matriarchal, I guess. How dare him? How dare him? I'm so happy when I said that they had charged him. He's out of order. This is a young girl going to school and this is how you're speaking to her. We feel like this is how we deal with a situation. Even if it is that you was wrong and it's supposed to be $150, still don't need to speak to her like that. Because they told her what they told her. One thing with them young people, them know what them bus fare is, They're not idiots. They know, because they know they're not working, so they have to go by. They have to basically bang their bellies. They know the prices, generally speaking. This is something that I've known because I used to do it. And they know the prices. But it's 100 about don't make me what have you, and going on, abusing the young girl verbally. Disgusting, rude, out of order. I'm so happy that they charged him and that the owner of the vehicle relinquished his duties as a taxi driver. And then I bet you somebody else probably going to take him up. Disgusting man. And when many of you get charged and so on, you will understand to respect people. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.